Hi and welcome back to Repairing Lawnmowers for Profit. In this video I'm going to show you how to speed up a petrol lawnmower. This is the number one question I'm being asked in the summer of 2022. So rather than answer all the comments, I'm going to film a video and I can drop this video link to help other people out in the future. So I'm going to talk about how to speed up your lawnmower's engine, how to slow it down. I'm going to also discuss the speed of the self-drive as well. So if you've got a lawnmower with a self-drive on, this video will help you out with that as well. So we'll quickly get started and I'll show you how to speed up a petrol lawnmower. So firstly what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you listen to this lawnmower and you can just hear the speed that this is running at. This is the speed I like my lawnmower to be at. You can actually buy things that actually measure the speed of petrol lawnmowers, but to be honest with you I think that's a little bit overkill. So if I start this up, this is running as I like them to run. It might be a little bit quick, but you get an idea whether yours is sounding like it's running too fast or too slow. Okay, so you get the general idea, maybe a little bit quick, that's the way I like it. There's a few reasons for having a lawnmower set at the correct speed and definitely not too slow, and I'll get into that a little bit later in the video. There's a bit more science to it than you might think, so we'll just stick around towards the end of the video and I'll explain that to you as well, and you'll get a lot better cut on your garden, on your grass as well. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this apart. I'm going to show you how easy it is to speed up a petrol lawnmower. So on most petrol lawnmowers, particularly the Briggs and Stratton ones, even on the newer engines in this, it's quite a simple thing to do. It's just a case of really changing the setting of the spring. So on this older style, these are still quite popular. These are what you call a Briggs 35 Classic engine, and there's a lot of households still have these. And just a word of warning, this video isn't for anyone who's got a lawnmower revving up and down. If you've got one that's revving up and down on this type of lawnmower, there's a diaphragm and gasket in here that you'll need to change. It's nothing to do with the springs. If it's revving up and down, don't tinker with these springs at all. I'll try and link to it in the top right hand corner. I'll try and link to a video of how to change this diaphragm and gasket. It probably costs you a couple of pounds and it'll save you buying a £250 lawnmower. So if it does help you out, leave me a comment anywhere on the channel. So in here you can see that you've got governor springs here. When I'm working on a mower, what I generally do is just remove this spark plug lead out of habit. But you've got these are called governor springs, and these kind of balance as the engine's running. Now if you've got a lawnmower that's revving up and down, you'll see these springs that are sort of bouncing around like this, and again this is related to the diaphragm and gasket. So what I want to show you now is how to speed up this lawnmower. So there's like a tang here, you can see on this part here, and what you can do with this, if you bend it towards the front, towards the spark plug like this a little bit, this will speed up your lawnmower, and you don't have to bend this very much, and it just basically stretches this spring a little bit more. So what I'll do now is I'll restart the mower and you can hear that it's running faster. But basically you don't have to take any springs off at all. There's a little tang here and you can just bend this, and this is what sets the speed by tensioning this little spring across the back and this spring across here. Let's start this mower up again. Let's just show you it's running more quickly than it was before. Okay, here we go. So put the spark plug lead back on. This will be running too fast now, but I just wanted to show you the direction that you need to bend that to speed things up. You probably hear that's running slightly too fast. You want to be careful doing this. You're just going to wear your engine out a lot more quickly than you need to do. For me that's too fast. So we'll go the opposite way now and I'll show you what it's like if it's running too slow. Again, you just bend this little tang here like this and fire this up. This should be too slow now. Okay, so you can hear now that that's too slow. Now one thing I don't really normally recommend doing is making any alterations while the engine's running. It'd be really easy to just accidentally put your, one hand on each to do it and put your other hand under and actually chop your fingers off. So be very, very careful. But I'm going to make some adjustments while this is running. And if you're going to do this, another thing I suggest is you drop the deck right down to the bottom, particularly if you've got pets. I do advise against doing these actual sort of tweaking of the actual speed of this lawnmower when it's running, but I'm going to show you how I do it now. So I'm just going to remove this off here that fell off the top. I'm going to clamp this at the top so I can reach round. I'm going to make sure my feet are nowhere near the underside of it. I'm going to set the speed of this lawnmower to exactly where I like it. I don't need to prime it again. If you look down from the top, you can see fuel going through. That's one way of telling that your primer's working. I'm happy with that speed. It may be a little bit quick, as I've not got much grass. It won't be running at that speed for very long anyway. So a few things I'm going to talk about now are why you need the speed to be correct and how it'll help you actually cut the grass and do a much better job. I just want to mention as well, if you've got the newer style engine of this, the procedure's the same. I think it's the 450E or the 300 series Briggs engines. The newer ones have got like a big petrol tank on the side. Well, if you actually get hold of the petrol tank, you can actually lift it off, and behind it you'll see it's really hidden. Most people comment on the channel saying, why do I speed it up? But the actual spring I've just shown you, instead of being there, if you lift the petrol tank off on the newer style, the spring's just behind the petrol tank, and you can do exactly the same thing. So I'm going to dive in the garage now. So it was pretty much shorts and t-shirt weather 5 minutes ago when I came out, and now because I'm on holiday, I'm not at work, it started to rain. So another question I just want to address that I get weekly or sometimes daily on the channel is, how do I speed up the self-drive of my petrol lawnmower? It's too slow, or the reverse of that. My self-drive's going that fast I can't keep up with it. Maybe somebody's a little bit more elderly or a little bit less mobile than they used to be. So if you speed up the engine on one of these types of petrol lawnmowers, what will happen is the self-drive will speed up as well. It's all linked. The faster the engine turns, the faster it drives the pulley to the transmission, the faster you will have to walk along behind the lawnmower. So if you've got a mower that's perhaps just getting away from you a little bit, you could tweak this, just slow it down a little bit, take a little bit longer to cut your grass, but it'll be much more pleasurable to walk along behind. And if you're fit and able and, you know, in your early 20s, like I'm not, you might be able to speed this up just a little bit, get the job done a little bit more quickly. One more thing before I go is that I mentioned earlier in the video why you want to get everything set up correctly on your petrol lawnmower. So one thing that's really important is keeping the blades sharp, and I understand, probably get, you know, idiot comments like I normally do in the comment section. I understand that's really obvious, but I don't think people understand exactly why it's so important, and it's kind of related to the speed of the lawnmower. If you have a sharp blade and your lawnmower speed is correct or fast enough, what happens is it doesn't only cut sharp into smaller pieces, it actually creates a lift for the grass, so it can be lifted up and it kind of gets back through the chute and into the grass box more easily. So the advantage of having your lawnmower running at the correct speed creates that backlift that shoots it back into the box, and obviously having the blade nice and sharp chops it into finer pieces and makes that job easier as well. You can usually tell if it's cutting well by the quality of the grass when you cut it, and also if you look in the grass box when you've cut it at the clippings, you'll be able to see they're all chopped up nice and finely and evenly, and that way you can have a good idea your lawnmower's actually running at the correct speed and it's actually boxing up the grass correctly as well. And the last thing you can do to help with that every season, or maybe twice a season if you do a lot of cutting, you just make sure the underside of the deck is cleaned off and you haven't got damp wet grass clumped to the underside. Again, that will disturb the airflow of the grass going through the chute, which is only about this big, into the massive grass box. So if you make sure you've got the speed correct, you've got a sharp blade, it's running at everything, is running as it should be, everything's sharpened up, you should have no problems really having a nice neat lawn this summer. I hope it helps. Any questions on the speed of your lawnmower or drive, leave me a comment and I will get back to you. I get loads of really nice comments, and I've been doing this around 12 years now. As I say, I don't film regular videos anymore. I'm used to the negative comment. I get told, and I've said this on plenty of videos, I get told I look like a fat Phil Collins every single week, so it's fine. Comment, put what you want, it'd be great to hear from you, and thanks for watching Repairing Lawnmowers for Profit. Who knows when I'll see you again. If I have something to say, I'll dive back on the channel. Thanks for watching.